Wow, what a day. We're pumping out like 4 or 5 videos on this channel. This can even go 8 or 9 videos deep. There'll probably even be some more videos coming out tomorrow night. Like Auburn just ended. It was crazy. What a crazy day. So we're going to talk Huskers, though. Welcome into the show. Slaughterhouse Sports, Spencer G here. Again, we're battling through a little bit of a cold here, but it's late at night, but I'm jacked. I'm not getting any sleep tonight, guys. I mean, Nebraska's going bowling for the first time in 8 years. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are going freaking bowling, okay? And Dana Holgorsen comes out of his cave in West Texas. Dana Holgorsen just comes out. He's like, all right, I got to go out there right now, and I got to put together an offense. What's your name over there? You look like you could play. All right, I got to watch this offense. I'm the fixer. And that's what Dana Holgorsen did. And Matt Rhule had the guts, the stones to hire Dana Holgorsen literally off of the street. Dana Holgorsen just doing nothing, just reading the Sunday paper, playing around the golf, going fishing, and then Matt Rhule's like, Dana, I need you, man. I need to go to a bowl game so bad. Can you please get us there? All Dana did today, all Dana did today was get Dylan Raiola back to playing like the Dylan Raiola that has been playing football for about the last 10 years and dominating everybody. Against one of the best secondaries in the country, Dylan goes 28 for 38 throwing the ball. All right, how many yards? Because Dylan Raiola is only throwing the ball for like 4 yards an attempt, right? Against USC, 4 yards an attempt. Against UCLA, 4 yards an attempt. Against Indiana. What happened today? 293 yards, no interceptions, and even a touchdown pass. Nebraska puts up 44 points on Wisconsin. We thought that this would be a Big Ten West showdown. Nebraska hit the over by themselves. We've never seen this type of offensive output at Nebraska in literally what feels like 20 years. 20 years. This is exciting because you have the light at the end of the tunnel. You played good defense with Eric Chinander. You played really good defense with Tony White at Nebraska. You've never really played good offense at Nebraska, okay, going back a long, long time. Jacori Barney, a.k.a. Raiden, what a day that he had. Shout out to the Nick Bond, Bo Rude podcast, my favorite podcast, the best. They do a great show on Nebraska football. They come up with nicknames for all the players. Jacori Barney is a stud as a freshman. He goes 9 for 85 today. He even rushed. He catches 9 passes for 85 yards. Emmett Johnson today from scrimmage over 200 yards. Finally, Emmett Johnson is finally the lead back. I've been saying Emmett Johnson's the fastest guy on the team, the most dynamic player with the ball in his hands. We're finally getting some speed at Nebraska. Heinrich Harburg finds the end zone today. Dowdell, 3 touchdowns. The power back, Dante Dowdell. This offense, you have Barney, Emmett Johnson, Dante Dowdell, Dylan Raiola. They're all coming back next year. You got James Williams. You're going to hit the defense in the transfer portal. Matt Rhule can coach defense. He's always coached defense. Even in Carolina, at the Panthers, he had defense. What Matt Rhule has struggled at, which has gotten him burned in this modern era of football, or specifically the last 7 years, is what? Poor offense, poor quarterback play. He even was right in saying that Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were NFL caliber starter quarterbacks. He was right, but he wasn't getting that production. He hired a very young Joe Brady in Carolina, didn't work. Hired Ben McAdoo, failed. Marcus Satterfield, his last 3 offensive coordinators, this is just fact, have failed. He then, instead of sticking with Satterfield till the end of the season and losing this game today, because Wisco put up 25 points, actually, Braden Locke. If I were to tell you before this game, guys, I think it's funny because I think everybody's going to be in agreement here. Braden Locke, the backup quarterback for Wisconsin, 6-foot quarterback, he's a guy that, again, he's a backup quarterback, he's somebody that, again, gets the most out of his abilities, but he isn't like, we're not talking about Gus Frerotte or we're not talking about Culpepper, I mean, Braden Locke is fine as a quarterback, fine. And maybe Braden Locke goes on the ball out, okay? He's a good kid, okay? He's doing a decent job. Braden Locke in this game, if I were to tell you he goes 20 for 30 passing for 292 and 3 touchdowns and only 1 pick, you guys are saying, oh my gosh, Nebraska gives up 25 points. They're not going to win this game. Nebraska scores 44 points today with Dana Holgorsen to go bowling. I mean, and now they can beat Iowa. If you get this type of offense from Dana, you could be going to bowling. And Dana Holgorsen, like at West Virginia, he did decent, but again, in West Virginia, you're all the way out in the middle of nowhere for recruiting. Okay, it's very tough to recruit to West Virginia. The town of Morgantown is absolutely beautiful, but you're in kind of no man's land specifically. We're talking Big 12 country. Again, Morgantown's a beautiful place. It's hard to get people to go there. And every game, you're traveling 5 hours to play football. Every single game. He did decent at West Virginia. Very decent. Houston, back half of his career, again, was burned out on the job. Weird stuff in transferring conferences. Never could get his feet under him at Houston. Never could. Never could get the recruit right. Didn't do well at Houston. Much better at West Virginia. Had at least stable and solid teams at West Virginia. He's a Mike Leach offensive coordinator, but he runs the football. He might have just found his gig. He might have just found his spot. This is a guy who loves football. This is a guy who wants to work 16-hour days. He'd get bored if he wasn't working. Guy in his mid-50s. Let's go. Let's go, Dana. You and Matt Rhule, man. Let's go. Let's do this thing for knock on wood. Let's do this thing for 8 to 12 years, Dana. It's your job now, Dana. You earned that thing. Okay? The Raiola family sees it. Matt Rhule sees it. And Matt Rhule literally stopped the bowl streak, and he might have found the next offensive coordinator. And if Dana works and Dylan works and you have more Saturdays like this, you're talking about a team that goes from 6 wins that could even go to 9 wins. You're talking about a team that can compete with the big boys. I mean, you got to take the baby steps, right? Before you could take those large monumental steps. Today was multiple steps being accomplished. You have Jacori Barney. You have Emmett Johnson. These two guys are literally showing out. These guys are showing out. You have Dylan getting the swagger back. So the offense is figured out, and you're also going bowling. And you get practices like, this is the first time in Nebraska where you finally could see a light at the end of the tunnel if you're a Nebraska football fan. And that is exciting.